Well, as you can see, I got the carburetor off. Got a battery that's somewhat charged up here, it looks like, and that I can slide. It's not coming apart. So what I was talking about earlier, this is a bolt, looks like a bowl drain, and there's a seal on the inside of this, which now I destroyed the cup seal, but I was hoping to get it together long enough to see if it would run, but to no avail. This is the metering jet or main jet. So, but you'll notice I did get these freed up. Took about an hour or so to cleaning this up, just to which, as you can see, it's still kind of dirty, but a lot better than it was. Whole lot's better than it was. But what I need to do is verify the old float and see if the old float floats, because I didn't do that. But let me pull the pin out of the float. You can see the needle right there. It just hooks over the, there's the needle. And then it almost looks like there's a rubber seat down in the bottom of this. I think I got this angled to where you can see. Oh, that's not good. Well, I don't know if I'm hearing a little bit of solder that's in there when they soldered this together, or if it's leaking. I guess I need to float it. So we need to get a little trail water and see if that'll float. This is the idle mixture, idle air mixture, what screw, whatever. And something I noticed about it when I took it apart was, see how the end is all messed up? So now this kit comes with a new one, so I think we'll be all right on that. But I got to pick and get these little rubber seals out, and it almost looks like there's a seal down where the needle glows. Then this should be an O-ring, which, let's see how this, okay, so that's interesting. Okay. See, I got to go through that groove, but I get to get the spring compressed. Well, we got her, folks. We got her. You see them little things there. All right. There's... Well, there ain't no O-ring left there. That's it, huh? Okay. Now, I do believe this kit would cover more than just one Tecumseh carburetor. I'm guessing, of course, but there's some stuff in this kit that I don't think actually applies to this carburetor. But I'm not really going to go whole hog into this carburetor. Because I mean, I've cleaned it up pretty good and I sprayed out the passages to where I figure I think they're going to work. Okay. We got to dig out that seal there, and we got to dig out the seal here, which I believe this is just an O-ring. Very hard O-ring, but it is definitely appears to be an O-ring. That passage. All right. So well, folks, had an interesting time with this carburetor. I don't know if you can see it, but there is a little green seal in there that is for the needle valve. So this is the actual seat, and that is extremely small. I had to kind of cock it sideways, dig it, and then kind of hooked it with this little tool I made out of a paper clip. But this is very, very soft. So I ended up taking like a 10-20 screw and pushing it down in, machine screw. So it was flush and flat going down, because I didn't want it caulking when I was trying to put it in. But the mixture screw, which is here, all rusted up. You missed all the excitement there trying to get that spring off. But I got the new mixture screw in there, the spring and the seal on the mixture screw, because that had all seized on there. Went ahead and adjusted the mixture screw to 1.5 turns out. So I'm back to working on this jewel here. I will put you back over here and let you watch the happenings going on. I did put the float in water, as you can see, and it is floating, and I don't think it's been I think what I'm hearing in there is just, I don't think it's liquid. I think that what I'm hearing in there is a little bit of solder. Because see, this is brass, so this is all soldered around here. And of course they soldered there to seal that little hole there. Because I think they put it under vacuum while they're soldering it. And then finish soldering the hole here. I'm not sure. I've never seen the production line on carburetors for little mowers before, but the old brass carburetors on tractors and that type of stuff did have. So now on this here little drain valve, well, I guess you ought to put the mixture screw in next. Now the mixture screw, I dug the O-ring out of there, but I think I don't think that rubber ring, O-ring, I mean, this is basically an air mixture bleed, I do believe. So we'll put the O-ring on there. Well, see if we can't get her started. Yeah, maybe I ought to push that O-ring in there first. Now, I believe this is supposed to be one turnout. I'm going to take it 1.5 turns out. Hang, defloat, needle, on defloat, You see, we're just pushing it in to the bowl. So all right. All right. Needle is working. Needle works. Okay. Needle and seat. Good shape. Awesome. So we can put the bowl gasket on. Like so. Now we got to put this over that somehow. I think there's actually supposed to be a hole in that. Then we got to drop that into there like that. Then we got to get this spring and all that lined up at the same time, which might be quite the challenge. Looks like it's going to be quite the challenge here, folks. Wow, this is going to be really the challenge. Oh, come on. Well, that's how that goes, folks. But boy, that wasn't an easy task, I'll tell you that. But that's where the O-ring holds it. Alrighty. She's in there. That is definitely not an easy task for big fingers like I got. Alright, so now this bowl, if you'll notice, it's got a deeper cavity. Well, you might be able to see this side better. It's deeper here than it is here. Well, that would go where the hinges go, so it'd have to go. This goes on something like that. So, wow, that slid on there remarkably well. So here's our main mixture screw or main jet screw. Snug that up. Okay. She's back together, folks. New parts abound. Well, figured today we'd see if we can't get this engine started on this old wheel horse Lawn Ranger, the Tecumseh motor. And previous video you saw where I got the carburetor back together after putting the kit in it, putting the new points, condenser and coil in the ignition underneath the flywheel. So we're going to mount the carburetor, put a little bit of fuel in the carburetor, And all right, I'm back. You can see I got the battery hooked up. I hooked up a little makeshift throttle cable so I could pull it back and choke it and try to start it here. So I'm gonna set you down over here and let's see what happens here. Well, let's hope for the best, folks. We'll try to turn her over and see what happens here. All right. Well, let's see first if we got starter engagement. We got starter engagement. Okay. Well, let's well, we're going to try a little go juice in her first. I guess I should have checked spark, but I didn't. But we can do that. Okay. So technically, if we got spark, we should have fire. Okay. For some reason, I don't think we got spark. So. Well, that's definitely getting fuel. Let's get in spark. Or better, I should say. Then yeah, that fires damn near every time. just darn near every time, so. We'll put that one in and see if we get any. Coming out of the exhaust, and it's drawn in through the carburetor. I mean, you can tell it's got some compression, otherwise it wouldn't be pulling harder on the starter. Fire. Should get one good fire anyway. We'll see. I got try to bring it up on top dead center and see if the ignition timing is correct. Don't really want to pull the head if I can avoid it, but I'm not even getting a pop, and you would think I would get at least backfire or a pop if it's timing in some manner. Well, I'm back. I went ahead and reset the points in here to 20 thousandths, which is, from what the information I can get, is what it's supposed to be. It was about 14. I thought I set it about 15, but I went ahead and pulled the head off of it, and it really doesn't look that bad in there. It looks like there might have been a little seepage right through here. But the valves, aside from the buildup on the valves, it looks like it's closed. And but that being said, I would expect that as much starting fluid I put through there, but I put gas in this bowl too. I would think that there would be a lot more liquid in there. I think I'm gonna clean this up a little bit. I'm gonna reuse this gasket since I don't have one. Probably can get one, but I was hoping to find a bunch of carbon in here, as far as the reason why it won't. You wouldn't even try to fire, but I don't really see an indication So, well, maybe the point's set too close. And see. Exhaust valve is definitely opening. Intake valve. Well, it's opening. Well, I think I need to clean them up, but it's definitely opening. Okay. Well, we'll clean this all up, and I'll bring you back when I try it. Well, I'm back, and you can see I clean the block a little bit and clean the head up a little bit. It really wasn't that bad. Or at least not that I would expect to cause issues. Valves don't look burnt. Flywheels are back on. We'll put a little bit of oil on the, you got the head gasket back on the same direction, just putting a little bit of oil on the bolts. I thought about putting anti-seize on them, and no, we're not going to put anti-seize on them, but put a little bit of oil on them for two reasons. They only torque, from what I can gather, about 15 foot-pounds, which is not much. So So we'll slide this back in here. we're back. I have put a little bit of starting fluid in there, and we're going to see if this dual will fire. I'm hoping, but we'll see. There you go. All right. Fire in the hole. Maybe. Well, she did fire. You hear it? Well, that's what we were after. All right. Well, she starts, she runs. So I got to figure out a fuel system. We got her running, we got her firing, and we will go from there. Thank you so much for watching. Be more to come on this when I get back to timing and having time to do it, but it's exciting. We got her running. That's what I wanted. Hopefully the transmission and differential and all that'll be okay. At least make it movable. I still got a lot of stuff to free up down underneath it. But my main concern was with that engine going to run or not. And as you heard, it will run. So, thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Please like and subscribe. Greetings, everyone. Larry from Rushing Forward Adventures back to you. Back on the Lawn Ranger. As you can see, I have replaced the fuel line, which was this. Which that's a brass filter. This is a screen filter. I put a shut-off valve in it. Cleaned out the tank a little bit. There really wasn't too much in the tank. I mean, you saw in the previous video how bad the carburetor was. And we put the cover back on. We have mounted up the remounted up the solenoid. However, the ignition switch is still stuck, so there's not doing anything with that yet. And it appears the old clutch lever is stuck solid, so there is not going to be any checking out the movement of it. But let's see if we can get it to run. And I need to adjust the carburetor some. Well, some bad news here, folks. Apparently the float be not floating in the fuel making her happen, because it I had to shut the fuel back off. I only put about a half gallon in there, but as soon as I turn the fuel on, it starts running out the through the carburetor housing. So that tells me that the bowl is not, or the needle and sheet is not shutting off, which should be the float more than likely. Because I did check the needle and seat and tried to blow through it with it closed, and it would not, I could not blow through it. So the float is not floating and shutting off the needle and seat. So fired up, because I need to run the fuel. It's probably got into the intake here. Run the fuel out and burn it up. So I think you can see, but I gotta figure out where to touch the ground here, and got to attach the ground so that we can make fire. Okay. Well, definitely burning some smoke off that exhaust, isn't it? Well, with that float doing that, I can't adjust the carburetor. Adjust the carburetor. Well, apparently it drew enough fuel out of that bowl to well, that be the case, boy, it takes a lot of fuel. But she ran. Alrighty. Well, I think I got most of that fuel out of that carburetor because the fuel is shut off, even though that tank's got about a half gallon in it. So we did burn the fuel out of the carburetor, which is what I wanted to do, so it didn't just run into the, as you saw. Now a lot of that smoke was from the exhaust, but some of it was smoke that, because I did in a previous video, I had the head off of it and cleaned that off. But I did see there was quite a bit of crosshatch left in the cylinder, so the old that's not bad on the old motor, but I don't know if you can see it down there on the ground, but it had enough fuel to where it was dripping down. It ran until she ran out of fuel in the carburetor, which is what I wanted to do, to get the, so it doesn't keep draining into the combustion chamber. It's shut off now, so it's not going to flow. And matter of fact, what I might do, just to ensure that, so I don't force down the cylinders, we'll take this fuel line right off the carburetor here. There you go. All right, folks, that's what I got for today. More to come, but she runs. So she doesn't run too bad, actually. So we'll go from there. And I'll bring you back in the next one with more, hopefully, more exciting news. And we'll go from there. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.